Across the nation, equal pay for men and women has and will continue to be an important topic of conversation until we reach parity. Now, in D.C., our viewers brought to our attention something that they believe is unfair pay disparity. The cost of living increases for federal workers versus federal retirees. Now, this year, federal retirees received 1.6% cost of living adjustment. That's compared to a 3.1% pay rate increase for federal employees. So how is that fair when the cost of living in D.C. is the same across the board? That's what Geraldine on Twitter wants to know. To get her that answer, I Skyped with John Hatton. He is the Director of Legislative and Political Affairs for NARF. That stands for the National Active and Retired Federal Employees Association. And Hatton ended up giving us a lot of great info, so we decided to package it up for you in a federal wages version of Quick Questions. Question number 1. Why do federal retirees get less cost of living money than federal workers when, like I said, the cost of living is exactly the same?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it's a misconception that federal employees get a cost of living adjustment. Sometimes people call it that, but it's actually a pay rate adjustment. The purpose of that cost of living adjustment is to keep up with inflation. And the purpose of the pay raise is to keep up with competitive jobs in the private sector, right? It's supposed to keep federal employees from leaving their jobs and go to a higher paying private sector job or to bring them in at a competitive rate.
Question number 2. Then who determines what the pay rate increase will be for those federal employees?
It's discretionary. It's up to the president to decide what that might be, using those figures as a baseline, and then it's up to Congress to say we agree or disagree with the president. The last year they disagreed and they provided a higher pay increase based on that employment cost index.
And that brings us to question number 3. So when will the scales of pay increase always tilt in the favor of current employees? He says no.
So I know a lot of retirees are upset that they have a lower cost of living adjustment this year, which was 1.6 compared to the 3.1 for federal employees. But last year, the Social Security and CSRS increase was 2.8, while the pay increase was 1.9. So it changes from year to year. It's not like you always get less.
He also explained to me the difference between the retirement benefits for people hired before 1984 and those hired after. If you're interested in that information, you can check out my latest article, and it's on the WUSA 9 app.